Hi everyone, Brian here with Jeremy. Coming into our fourth podcast here. We've gotten a lot of good response back from family and friends, which is good. But keep sharing. Let's get this thing viral. Let's get more people involved. It's, again, it's an educational type podcast, but we're trying to have fun with it.
Educate the world.
Yeah. One thing that we've noticed is there's a demand for learning more about this revolution that we're in.
Yeah.
Kind of like a blockchain revolution, but that is more expansive than just that technology. So instead of just talking about Bitcoin for 50 straight podcasts, we can still do that, and it'll still be informative, but there's a lot of other stuff going on, and I referenced it maybe 2 or 3 times already, but the Industrial Revolution, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and kind of what goes in with that. Genome sequencing, artificial intelligence,
machine
SpaceX,
learning.
All of this stuff. So we're kind of thinking of shifting this podcast into a new direction and bringing in some experts in from all these spaces, talking with them, learning more about all that, but keeping it fun and keeping it simple, analogizing things that you guys will understand, and going from there.
Yeah, exactly. So welcome to IR4. Industrial Revolution.
That's what we're branding it, IR4. We're going to get t-shirts and everything made.
So we're going to be talking about, like he was mentioning, what is the Fourth Industrial Revolution in regards to cryptocurrencies? Because the questions we started getting were not just, hey, how do you trade Bitcoin, like Bitcoin day traders? It was more like, where do you see Bitcoin technology going, and how do you pay robots with currency like 20 years from now? We're like, whoa, that's such a huge, massive question regarding what we're talking about. So overall, though, we've got people, we've got the talent, we've got the knowledge to talk about it. We're going to get other experts in here. I don't know who our first person is going to be, but I got a good idea. You got some great ideas.
We got. Yeah. There's. And that's another beautiful thing about being in Nashville. There's a lot of talent here.
Where do we put them? Are we going to put them right here in a chair, you think?
I have no idea.
We'll figure that out when we get there.
All I know is that these couches are low and it looks like I'm a midget. Politically correct, a small person. I don't know what that term is.
Midget's very antiquated and pejorative.
Okay, those are big words that I don't know.
So here's what we're talking about today is we are going to be discussing wallets regarding cryptos.
And a little bit on exchanges too.
Yeah, we might touch into that. It might leak over into the next one. Either way, we'll definitely be talking about wallets and protecting cryptos. Why is that even an important topic, honestly, Brian?
Well, if you're investing in these digital assets, whether you're using it for network access to different blockchains or you're using it as an actual financial investment vehicle that you're going long term, you want to make sure those are secure from hackers. Those are secure from your computer failing. So there's a lot of ways in securing those digital assets, and it's a very important thing to do. As far as the exchanges goes, you can do things peer-to-peer called local bitcoins. We'll get into that, coming up, but making sure that you're operating in the safe spaces, in credible exchanges, and you're not going on in the dark web and doing all this crazy stuff and getting caught up in that. And we'll make it very simple for everyone to understand.
It's going to be a whole other subject. I don't even know what the dark web is.
Okay.
I don't even know. I know it's there.
We'll definitely get into that then. Last thing I want to say in this little intro, the first industrial revolution was mechanization, water power, and steam power. And then it moved into the second, which was mass production assembly line, Henry Ford, air, electricity, Nikola Tesla, Thomas Edison. That would be a great podcast, I think.
Yep.
The third industrial revolution was how the computer and
the internet,
automation, and the internet, and how that all really started changing the way everything operates. And now this fourth one, which people have been predicting for the past 5-10 years, which we're in now, like we're in the birth phase of it, is cyber physical systems. And everything that you read about the Industrial Revolution or the fourth one is these cyber systems and what's going on. But I really do think that the heartbeat of that entire terminology is the blockchain. So that's why I think it's, everything stemming from the blockchain, which again was Bitcoin core when we first talked about it, and now everything's blossoming off that.
Like I said, this is the technology that's not going away. The blockchain technology is here to stay. Maybe it's a coin that leads the way. Maybe it's a centralized currency through governments or countries. But the technology is what's not going to go away, and that's really the biggest takeaway. And so today's session, we're going to be talking about wallets, securities, protecting digital assets, why it's important. I guess that's kind of easy answer, so that you don't lose a lot of your money. So we got that one already answered. So which wallets should we use, and how do we implement them?
So you can have a wallet for any type of different cryptocurrency. Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, all these different cryptocurrencies, all these new ICOs, everything that's going on right now, usually has their own wallet.
Each one has their own.
Yes, but there is cross-pollination. So if there's an ICO or a blockchain tech or an actual chain being built off of Ethereum, there's something called the ERC20 token, which is more of a smart contract token. And so you can actually use multiple tokens within that system. Does that make sense?
Yep.
But like for Bitcoin, you can't send Bitcoin to a Ethereum address. And that's the first thing I think we should talk about is the addresses. And I think we did before. I'll go briefly review it. But you have an email address, you have a password, private, public keys. You have a private and public key. You own the address. Gmail doesn't own your address. And then there's wallets that are on exchanges. So this is the most important thing that people need to understand.
Okay. You
can get a wallet on an exchange and keep Bitcoin there, or keep Ethereum there, or whatever it is. You can go to Poloniex, one of the trading sites we've talked about, and you can have different wallets for all these different currencies. If that exchange gets hacked, you are prone to losing those different currencies. So you can download software wallets from these different, and you know, just like any other type of thing you're downloading off the internet, be careful, have a virus scan go through it. But you can download these software wallets from these different websites. You can go to bitcoin.com and download a Bitcoin wallet.
Really? Bitcoin.com. All right, let's see if I can...
It might be bitcoin.org, but let's stay here for a second.
Let's try it out. Let's see what this does. So bitcoin.com, download wallet.
So that's like the first thing we do, right? So
this is where you store. You can only store Bitcoin in this. You can't store any other currency.
Correct. This is a Bitcoin wallet.
Interesting. All right.
And there's a lot of different mobile apps that are wallets. But when you go into these different sites, or if you go on your iOS or Android operating system and download these apps, you're going to have a wallet. Okay. And when that wallet gets generated, you'll always want to back up your private keys. And what I mean by back up your private keys is like secure them. So when you're setting up a wallet, you'll see your private key, but then usually, like, you want to be in charge of that. You don't want an exchange to be in charge of your private key, because let's say the computer does crash, or let's say it gets hacked, but you only know the private keys. That means, and when you back them up, write them down, put them on a different computer, take a picture of them, whatever it is, but usually I write them down or type them up and then print them off, and I have them, and I even put them in a safe. But it's called restoring a wallet. So if you actually, let's say you have 5 Bitcoin, which is what, somewhere around $19,000 some dollars right now, $20,000.
Yep.
You have $20,000 worth of Bitcoin in an account or in your wallet. If your computer fails and you have to go get a new computer and you want to, shit, where's all my Bitcoin?
Right.
You got to restore that wallet. So hopefully you wrote down all your private address, which is usually a string of numbers, 6 or sometimes 12 numbers, or not numbers, I'm sorry, random words.
Yeah.
Random words. So it would be like cat, book, apple, like, and there's 6 or 12 of them.
Oh, okay.
If you back up all those and then you go to that software again, and I go download my wallet and it says, are you creating a new wallet or are you restoring a wallet? Well, my computer just took a shit. I have a new one now, so I got to restore it. I put in those 12 words, and it restores that wallet.
Okay.
The public address associated with your wallet is like an email. It's a string of numbers and letters, and people can copy it. It's public. People can copy it and send you Bitcoin. So that public address is just more of like for people to send assets to you.
Okay. Well, a question then. So you mentioned an exchange getting hacked, and this is where my thought process on it is: if the exchange gets hacked, you're going to get your money back, right?
Who's insuring those exchanges? You know, it really comes down to that there's really no insurance there. I mean, we don't. Coinbase has money transfer licensures in the United States.
Right.
I believe they are insured by one of the different institutions in the United States, but a lot of these exchanges aren't insured. So what that means is, now, if they get hacked, it's going to be on them. Let's say, you know, I believe it was Bittrex was hacked.
Yeah.
And that's one of the exchanges, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think that's
or is
the
it
one
Bitfinex?
It's Bitfinex, I believe.
Okay.
They got hacked a few months ago, a year ago maybe.
When that happened, they created their own token, and it was almost like an IOU. You lost your Bitcoin assets. We're going to give you your token.
Oh, really?
Eventually, those IOUs became worth something, which was great, and they honored and they repurchased those IOUs so people recovered their funds. But dude,
it was a process. I didn't even hear about that.
There's tons of it. Not tons. There's a lot of exchanges that get hacked, and you lose your money. It's like, sorry.
Wow.
Sorry, guys, we got hacked. It's our fault. And it's just like, so that's why I only keep a couple $100 on like the Coinbase exchange because I have my debit card linked with that exchange, with that specific account.
Sure.
So, if I lose $200, $300, you know what? I took that risk. It's my fault. But Coinbase is a pretty secure.
Coinbase is secure. I would say the most secure of all of them.
It's pretty well known, and I have my debit card linked to it. So guess what that means? I don't have to use U.S. dollars or any type of fiat currency.
Yeah.
I can go to anywhere, any merchant that takes Visa, and use that card, and it withdraws BTC from my Coinbase account.
Yeah.
I mean, so people talk about, well, I'm not going to get involved with Bitcoin until I can go buy groceries with it or pay my mortgage in it. Well, you can.
Yeah, you can already
just
do that
educate
right now.
yourself on how to do it. It'll take 3 hours. Just dedicate 3 hours instead of watching a TV show or laying around and not doing anything. Get off your ass, do some research. It'll take 3 hours to just learn it all. And I dig very deep, and I like knowing everything. I do read the terms and conditions in websites.
You are that kind of guy.
Yeah. And so it may take you 30 minutes, not 3 hours.
I'm the scroll kind of guy.
Yeah, scroll, accept terms, boom, go.
Sometimes it says, you didn't even scroll down. I'm like, oh, shit. So I do it anyway. I just scroll and I click. I don't read any of that.
Yeah.
But
it's a fast environment. So it could take you, 30 minutes to set that up. And there's more than just, Coinbase and that debit card. There's BitPay and a CoPay wallet.
Yeah, interesting.
So, but your question was wallets on the exchanges. I only keep a few $100 on those exchanges, and I can spend on those exchanges. Okay. Now, CoPay is a wallet you can download. BitPay, and there's a card associated with that.
So I just go to bitpay.com. You think?
I don't know if it's .com. It probably is though, because it's a pretty credible name. Yeah.
Okay, so BitPay. So this is the one that. So here's your wallet, here's your card. So I can get a card.
Well, yeah, first thing you want to do is make sure you download a wallet. So you would click on the wallet.
Yep, okay.
You would download the software. It's very easy, and you can actually get this. And so, this would be a great exercise for everyone because I really like this one. You can download it on your computer. You can have your wallet on the computer, but you can also download the mobile app, and you can see that account on your app and on your desktop.
Yeah, that's smart.
It's going to be very hard hacking that type of wallet.
Protocol, right. So once you download the wallet, you can get the card.
Then you can get the card.
Visa card.
Yep.
Which is probably another way to invest in Visa. And then you can use them in any. I've seen you use this to pay for some beers. They'll just. I
love doing it too because people are like, because what I'll do is open up my Bitcoin account.
Yeah.
And when you go and use your bank account. Debit card. Yep. Usually you'll see that transaction later that night or maybe the next morning. Like, oh my god, I just spent $75 at the bar for happy hour, and it's like, what the hell?
Easily.
With this is instantaneous. So it's like when they swipe my card before that person comes back to me with that card, I can show that person next to me it already charged my account that amount. Yeah. Like it happens that quick, which is so cool. Yeah. So it's like actually monitoring your funds real time.
Now, when you're mentioning, like, you get the bill, you see it automatically on your phone or your laptop. You wouldn't have a laptop at a bar. We have, but we're holding the phone. You see the transaction. But what type of wallet is that? Because I've heard of a cold wallet. Is that a hot wallet, like the one that's on your phone, or is that a digital wallet? Or?
Sure. So a hot wallet is more associated with a wallet being on an exchange.
Okay, so that is a term.
Yes, hot wallet is a term. Now, some people also, and again, this space is so new, so all these terms have different interpretations.
Yeah, of course.
This is all my opinion.
Okay.
Some people do think that a wallet that you download on your computer is a hot wallet, but if your Wi-Fi is off and there's no Ethernet cord and you're not connected to the internet, there's no way people can steal your Bitcoin or your different digital assets if you're not connected to the internet.
Right.
But it's the same thing with any type of document you have saved on your computer too, right?
Yeah.
So like, what's a very important document? Just give me an example. Like a social security number.
Sure.
And
Birth certificate.
Okay.
Semi-important, right? I guess.
What Equifax? They had
Equifax.
They had your social security number, your address,
Date of birth. Mom's maiden name.
They have all that stuff,
addresses
right?
I used to live at.
So that's
all hacked.
So that's all right. So Equifax took all that information
and sold it to some.
And no, that's an accusation I would not make in this podcast.
It got hacked, right?
But all that information is stored in their database.
Yep.
In the Equifax database.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a Bitcoin wallet company owning all your Bitcoin. That's like the exchange, right?
Sure.
So that's why it's more prone to being hacked, because it's a silo of all this data.
Yeah, with just tons and tons of data, volume, people, everything's right
now,
there.
there's documentation I know somewhere in my computer, I'm sure in everyone's computer, where whether it be through your emails, whether it be through an actual document saved in your computer, but there's your DOB and there's your
absolutely
social security
all
number.
Yeah, totally.
So, you can get, and if you're not smart on how to secure your data, it's pretty simple. But if you're not doing that, that's why, like, I heard this one story of this grandma got hacked by these hackers in Germany, stole all of her pictures and videos of, like, the 50th wedding anniversary or something with her husband. She wanted it back, and they held that data ransom for Bitcoin.
Wow.
That's another reason why Bitcoin has such a negative connotation behind it.
Yeah.
So she had to figure out how to get these hackers Bitcoin so she could get her data back.
Oh my gosh.
But everyone's prone to being hacked.
Yeah.
If you're connected to the internet, you're prone to being hacked.
Yeah, there's a chance.
Right.
So a cold wallet is a physical thing, like a USB that you're plugging in, you're downloading your keys and addresses.
It's more than just a USB.
So what would it be then?
Okay. There's actually exchanges, and perform your due diligence.
Okay.
But there's actually exchanges that honor every Bitcoin that comes in, or what they'll say is 90%. And I think Gemini is one of them. The Winklevoss twins created that exchange.
Yeah.
I personally like it. Low transaction fees. It's pretty easy to operate. But I think it's 75 or 90% of all the assets under management, meaning their exchanges, are held in cold storage wallets, which means there's an air gap between the actual internet and where the Bitcoins are.
Okay.
So it can be, have you ever seen an external hard drive?
Sure.
Yeah, it's just like this big, USB port, plug it in.
Yeah.
You can move if you download, let's say you download a wallet, right? And you move that wallet onto the external hard drive, you can move Bitcoins to that external hard drive. All you really need for a Bitcoin address to send it to is a QR code or that string of numbers. A string of numbers, and there's like 27 of them, can be hard to remember.
Yeah.
But a QR code's simple. It's called a paper wallet, which is a form of cold storage wallet. You go to Bitcoin and you generate a wallet, save your private keys, make sure you own those, you have those, you print them out. But then you can print out your public key or a QR code, right? Print it out, okay? Now, if you're an exchange, if you have money on your Coinbase exchange, let's say you have $10,000 on your Coinbase exchange or in your wallet, and you want to get it off the exchange, I go to my Coinbase wallet, I turn on my send feature of the phone, it scans the QR code of the paper wallet I just sent, and you could transfer $9,000, okay? Now that $9,000 worth of Bitcoin just went onto that paper wallet. And now you own $9,000 worth of Bitcoin on a piece of paper. Now, if your house catches fire, you just lost $9,000 of that paper wallet. So that's why some people like laminate those paper wallets, put them in safety deposit box. There's a lot of different things you can do. One of the, I think, easiest, most convenient, one of the top secure wallets is the USB stick that you were talking about.
Okay.
And
which one is that one? Do you know?
Well, there's one called Treasure. There's a few of them. My favorite is Ledger. Ledger was kind of the first into the game. If you just go to Ledger Wallets and check them out, there's a few different ones. I think they're on back order now.
I'm googling Ledger Nano wallets.
Yeah, Nano is one of the items.
$101, dude. US.
Yes, and sometimes
pricey.
If you're going to the actual website, like, you have to pay in Bitcoin. So
fun.
What I like about that is the company's like, listen, you can buy our products, but you have to know on how to move and use Bitcoin to buy our products.
Makes
because
sense.
you know what? That brings more credibility to
who they are.
To who they are.
I can get
Because
behind
they
that.
don't want, some mom and pop buying a Ledger wallet for $100, but they don't know how to use it.
It's funny that you mention that. So remember 10 years ago, 1 gigabyte, 100 gigabytes worth of data on a USB cost like $400.
Yeah.
These things are going to cost like 17 cents 5 years from now. I mean, it's going to be...
I think
They're gonna be
it
so
may get
cheap.
to a point where, think of your traditional wallet. You have a leather wallet in your back pocket.
Yeah.
I think my grandmother bought mine when I was in high school, and I still have it. But, these wallets are a form of technology, but there's a necessity. So, yes, they'll always be there, but I do think that the price of them will go down because
Of course, yeah.
more players are going to be getting into
Absolutely.
the game. Because there's only a few companies right now who do
Interesting.
cold storage wallets. But, man, it's a great product. It's easy to use. It's really cool because when you order that wallet, it sends you this little box, and it has a card in it where the first thing it does, it shows you, okay, you plug it into your computer, here are your private keys, write it down. And it has 24 actual words and spaces, number 1 through 24 on this little card, and you write down it says, you need to write these down right now, because if you don't, you'll never have access to this wallet, because after this, we're going to get rid of them all. So it shows you all these 24 words, you write them down.
It's intense.
Say, okay, I wrote them down. Yep, I got them right here. You write them down, they go away forever.
Gosh.
The only person that has them is you on that wallet. That's what I'm talking, or you on that little card, that little index card.
That's why it's important.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why it's so important, because, and it's happened to be before, when Bitcoin split and there's Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin, I go into my Ledger wallet, and it said, when I plugged it in and went in there, it said, hey, Bitcoin split, the blockchain split, would you like to use Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin? I'm like, oh, I'll go see what Bitcoin Cash is. It totally changed my wallet software into Bitcoin Cash. Well, I didn't have any Bitcoin Cash. All I had was Bitcoin at the time. So
Right.
I just lost all my Bitcoin.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I have to go back in, and it says, are you signing into a wallet or are you restoring a wallet? I clicked restoring wallet. It's a Bitcoin wallet. I put in those 24 words.
Good for you. Oh, man.
Oh, man. I was like, I just lost tons of money.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for people to go through that process. So if you're going to get involved, you can get involved with $100. You don't need $10,000.
Yeah. Real inexpensive.
Someone sent me a Facebook message today, and if I put this on my Facebook wall, shout out to, I think it was David Brownruther, but David asked me, hey, I need to start getting involved in Bitcoin. What do I need? $5,000 to get in? I said no.
No,
it's a
dude.
fractional currency. You can get in with
$100, $50,
$5.
$10, $7 cents.
Transaction fees will be a little bit higher because it takes
yeah.
priority in the mining process.
Right, but-
if someone's sending $10,000, that transaction is going to prioritize over a $10 transaction.
Yeah.
You
Makes
know.
sense. Well, so next episode, you think we should talk about? Talking about David or just people like him getting started, exchanges. Why are they trading? How can they trade? What's the benefits of doing Bitcoin
Yeah, I think
from an exchange central topic?
half the topic, or excuse me, half the podcast can just be like real simple. How you get involved in Bitcoin. We can talk about local Bitcoins, Liberty X stores, Bitcoin ATMs, and exchanges. And then I think the second half we can get more sophisticated with the actual trading aspect, and like that's where you would come in, because I don't know how to do that.
Let's do that, folks.
IR4.
All right. We'll be back again.
We're coming back again.
You guys rock. See ya.